a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody, and we are live. It's Saturday, so every Saturday we do a two-way media workshop where we attempt to provide a platform, a place for anyone in two-way media who's interested in collaboration and sharing their projects. A place that we have every Tuesday and every Saturday. And today, the bunch of people are at the Wanemacher gun show, which is in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is the world's largest gun show, 11 acres under one roof with really amazing building and 4,500 tables. So it's many, many times larger than any typical large gun show. So we've got the crew from gunchannels.com, a community of people that are interested in creating firearms related content and collaborating and bringing that out from the grassroots. Get together on gunchannels.com, and for the last few years, members from Gun Channels have used the Tulsa show as a way to meet up and to hone our skills as content creators and as project, developers in a place where we're able to amplify the messages from the people and the vendors and the manufacturers and the attendees and the promoters of the world's largest gun show. So it's a great collaborative effort that's been going on for a while, and the members over at Gun Channels, each representing their own channels, come together and help promote the show. We work with the promoter. They give us some space at the show to do our thing, and it's been a great success. And here we are in 2019 at the April show. We've got links out to most of the people at the show and a couple of people who've attended in the past. Right now, we've got Roll Call jumped in first. He's in the show. Last we heard from him, chatting with some of the guys that are eating down from the table. We got Gary just jumped in. He's sitting at the Gun Channels table we mentioned. And then Clover Tack is there as well, helping to keep everything coordinated and all the connections together. These are outside in the parking lot right now. So thanks everybody for jumping in. How's the show been?
It's awesome. I love it. I could live here. We should just live here.
Just have the show constantly every single day, and then just tables come and go. Like they can stay for as long as they want or as long as they can afford. Great.
7 days a week.
Yeah, turn it into the biggest gun shop in the world.
There you go. So I guess I didn't mention everything we do online is an attempt at the new media. So you're watching TV, you read the internet, you read newspapers, you listen to radio, but you use the internet. So use this internet. We have a text chat there on the platform that we broadcast this live from. They give us some tools, they take some tools away, they offer us some really nice things, and then they give us limited access to them. It's one of the reasons I'm running the show today instead of some of the people that are there at the show. But our participation in that giant platform gives guns justification and presence for existence, and to some extent, especially from people out there, political strategists and the such. So we encourage you to let us know you're out there. If you're on Gun Channels, we know you're there because we have a little green light that lets us know you're out there. So everybody on Gun Channels, your questions will of course get priority. If you'd like to jump in, you can as well. But I guess I didn't mention that this is an effort at the new media. So use the text chats that are out there and be part of the conversation. So you guys have all been there before. How's the show this year compared to past years? Busy, less busy, same?
I would say
several. I would say as far as from my perspective, as far as the amount of people here, it's probably pretty close to last April. But in talking with some of the normals that I go around and say hello to, that I've seen now for 2 years or so, they seem to be expressing that they're not selling as much as they did last April. So it's kind of a mixed bag, I think.
Yeah. And you'll get that, whatever that report from them after Friday, which is really when they do their moving. So I'm guessing if they're saying the show is slow, then that means they didn't move as much yesterday, because you know what I'm saying. They usually don't report like what happened on Saturday. They're reporting the whole show, like their entire experience there, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've had several of them talk about what they did on Friday wasn't as much as it normally is. Apparently, Friday is a huge day up here.
Yeah, well, you figure 11 acres, so it's like say 4,500 tables. These people have been going for a long time. I saw P226 Nut is there. It's good to see him. He's in a resident of Tulsa. He's literally been going to the show his whole life. So these people have been attending the show for a long time. I know people that come from Arizona. I know people that go from Illinois. I know people that go from Florida. These are just people I happen to know. And people are coming from multi-states too. So these people are all coming, and that's a lot of effort. Sure, I don't even know. Do we know the attendance? But attendance aside, that's 4,500 other businesses that they're there to interact with and network with. And it only takes so long to set up a gun show table. Everybody knows how to set up a 6-foot table. Most of these guys have done it. They can do it in their sleep. So yeah, they'll set up on Friday, and it takes a certain amount of time to get 4,500 tables set up. But there's plenty of time there for back and forth and like sort of behind the scenes or a before the show trading session, and it's pretty exciting. I've been around for that, and it is pretty awesome. Hey, let Snob know that he is welcome. He didn't have to just jump in.
Well, with 4,500 tables and with a lot of things, you're talking about multiple employees. I mean, you're pushing. I'm sure you're probably 8,000 people that are just
easy
working tables, right? And then you've got staff, and then you've got all that. So I mean, you're pushing 10,000 people before the first visitor comes through the door.
That's a great point. Yeah, I never thought about that. But yeah, each of those tables, even if there's a guy that has like a whole island or multiple tables, rarely are they running that all themselves. So they've got at least a person per table. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's 2 people per table. And yeah, and then like you say, the concessions and the security and the custodial and the just the building maintenance. I mean, yeah, it's got to be 10,000 people. That's larger than most. That's multi times larger than most shows, just in the staff alone, just to keep the thing open. Pretty neat. Have you guys heard anything about how many people attend? Snob should know. He's lived there a long time.
A lot.
What we should do is have Snob and P226 Nut offer these guys some sort of like trivia challenge off or something. See who knows more about Tulsa in the show. I would think Snob would win. I think he's older.
Well, I know they're both a draw when it comes to Mexican food. I can tell you that much.
Oh, snaps. We had another experience, or?
No. We had good burgers last night.
Well, while you guys are at the show, though, let's have us talk about food and gun channel stuff separately. Let's talk. Well, maybe. I mean, this is our 2A Media workshop, and it's the show. So I just figured, can one of you throw a camera on if you're at a good place to kind of give us a pan of how big this scope is for anybody that might be watching? We do have some people watching live. If you haven't seen the show before, I mean, are there very many buildings out there that are 11 acres under one roof?
Yeah, I'm in the parking lot. Let me get up like on my toolbox, and I'm in the back parking lot. There's one parking area. I'll do a 360 scan if you want.
I'm outside too, but here's
Bob is out back also. You guys are standing next to each other.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
And that gives you an idea of parking too. Just the parking. Oh, you're way back there. I've had to park on the other side of that building. But
Clover's got a lot better view from his toolbox than I have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, up in the air like that. So this is the building, and all those crazy things that look like a fence are the structures that keep roads without having to have any internal pillars at all. I'm told this was to have a World's Fair or like a state fair with oil rigs inside, right? They wanted to have room to set up like elaborate machinery inside of there, huge and elaborate. So there's license right there. License. So is that your new camera, Clover?
Yeah, that's the new phone. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of wind noise, but not too bad. It doesn't seem anywhere near as bad weather-wise.
I'm still up on my truck too. Is one of the problems.
Well, yeah, but even with that, I mean, I'm guessing there's some wind or whatever, but it was like you could tell it was happening, but it wasn't like blowing the mic out. It wasn't blowing the speakers out.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So, roll call. You're inside still, Gary. You're inside. Pop a camera and give us a pan to show the inside.
Yeah, I'm still inside. I'm walking. I made my G-Webs. I made my first ever gun purchase at the Wanemacher gun show 2 seconds ago.
Right on.
I bought
or something you couldn't find. What was the purchase? What stuff?
I bought a Marlin 60 for $100. And it's in good shape.
Whoops, this gives you an idea as he's walking kind of through the center aisle now, through the center of the show. It looks like you're walking from the west side towards the east. Clover and Snob were outside to the left as they're walking here. And this is the kind of real wide middle aisle. I'm guessing in case they got to bring a vehicle in for an emergency or something, they can clear that real easy. Also gives people a good place to kind of gather so that you're not, clogging the main aisles. They've got it figured out as far as the layout, I think. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, they truly do maximize space, and the way they've got the way they've got wider aisles. Some of the aisles are more narrow, and they've got like main arteries that run through there that are wider. They've probably trial and error. I mean, I haven't been going my whole life, of course, but you got to think that developed over time. They figured out in what areas they needed to open it up more.
I think so. And they probably, I don't know if it'd be interesting to talk to them, like when there's trends or like fads, like for example, when an AR stuff is going to be big, like they probably know that and make the aisles a little bigger around those islands, perhaps. Or if like a movie like comes out.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, if certain things are popular, then they make sure that around those collectors or dealers that have those things, there's more room. Maybe put them on an end cap even or something like that.
So Honda is asking, do guns get stolen from these tables? Well, I mean, I guess that's possible. Whenever something happens, I've been there when they'll have an announcement. So, and then they'll usually announce when it gets found also, or the guy gets grabbed. But gun shows are, I think one of the neat things about them to experience is that it's not it's a really neat experience. Gun owners are super peaceful, law-abiding, friendly people, and we're very open. And most of the people that attend are the same way. Everybody that attends really is the same way. So when somebody comes in that's unscrupulous, they stick out like a sore thumb, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious when somebody's shady or whatever, and they're treated as appropriately the same way a pickpocket would be an obvious pickpocket would be in a bus station or something, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no doubt.
But there's security at every door, and there's a level of people that are gun owners. I mean, we're all at condition yellow or whatever. Or what?
Right.
We're not, for the most part, some people ability, but not somebody who's responsible for a table full of guns.
Yeah, not only do you have security at the doors and all of that, but then you've got uniformed officers that are walking the floor as well.
Emily, like always.
Hey.
So I was asking everybody, we had Gizzard jump in, and Daniel has muted, but eventually he'll figure out how to do it. I was asking everybody who's been to the show a couple of times, what do you think of the turnout?
So we need to be using mute If you're inside, don't talk.
I can't hear anything.
Tell Dano how to mute his phone. There, perfect. Thanks, Dano. So I was asking Dano and Gary, because you guys just jumped in, what do you think of the turnout as far as the aisles being crowded, more or less the same?
I would say the same.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same. It's hard to get back and forth, but about like last year's spring show was. It's a good sized crowd, but not unreasonably large, as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Right on. Well, that's everybody's given about the same, so good to hear. Better than it going down.
Oh yeah.
And I guess that we shouldn't expect. We know that the November show's a bit bigger. It seems like because of hunting. I think we've talked about, but I mean, I guess that shows that there's not a fear, a panic buy, or anything like that, which we see sometimes.
Everybody seems to be in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I've talked to quite a few people today, and yeah, nobody seems to be in that panic mode or anything like that. But you know, they're also, and we've talked about this multiple times before. There still doesn't really seem to be any urgency when it comes to the election cycle we got coming up.
That's a good question. So let me ask. I'm going to start asking you guys individually, so you don't all talk over each other, and I'm not playing a good host. So I'm going to ask the question and go round robin on this one. As far as 2A stuff, if you guys, I'm assuming you've had a chance to walk the show a bit. Any presence from 2A organizations? Normally, it's not. So I mean, we don't expect it to be a big Second Amendment show or anything, but more or less the same. I'll go with Snob first.
Come back to me. I'm switching my mic out.
Okay, so roll call.
The only people I've seen are like I guess Texas Law Shield and the crummy NRAs here. They're right at the front door stealing everybody's money. But I haven't seen any the FCP or FPC or anything like that. Hold on, there's a motorcycle.
Right on. And I'm going to take a second to say thanks for that live thing you did on Instagram. You sort of just started the show and started live and walking. And then I think the first thing you walked up to was US Law Shield, and then ended up having an interview with them. That was pretty interesting because immediately started asking them questions and asked if they'd be okay with the video. And I'm hoping people watch that because that's interesting. We hear it. People try to compare them as like a third party, but hearing one of them talk about why theirs is, the option to go with was interesting. I don't think I've ever heard them give their spiel.
The gentleman sitting next to me says there's no GOA or anything like that in the building.
Okay. And like I say, I wouldn't expect it, but just in case I'm asking. Dano, you have a chance to see anything 2A at all?
I've seen the NRA, and that's it. If there's somebody else here, I've not seen them. Also, I'm kind of low on battery, so if I suddenly drop out, that's why.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. We've got, I'm sure there's extra batteries and stuff there. Did we have electric at the table this year? Anybody?
No.
Okay, I saw that our table has been moved a bit, which is actually kind of cool. Is it better? Like we had to have more people walking in front of it in this location, right?
Yeah, I like the location better.
Yeah, much better location. Had a lot more engagement with the general public. I think I don't know whose idea it was, but like the little squirt guns to engage the kids and the kids bring the parents was a great idea. Whose ever idea that was.
So we stole that idea from Cheryl Todd and Dan Todd at Gun Freedom Radio's podcast. They have AZ Firearms Gun Shop in Avondale, Arizona, and they have squirt guns like that with a little card that says the 4 safety rules. And I thought that was super awesome to be able to have a kid go home with something from a gun shop every time they visit. So that's where we stole that. Clover and Snob facilitated that, right?
I'm not sure, but whoever did it, and I'll ask tonight later on, definitely deserves, kudos. Because, if you can get the kids, the parents have to stop. and then that gives you a chance to engage the parents a little bit.
Well, all right. I guess that wasn't our goal, but our goal is just make kids happy. So if it works in other ways, that's good. And I want to say kudos to whoever laid out the table. I was afraid it was going to be a bunch of Dano's swap meet stuff or something, but it was pretty cool. Saw some pictures earlier. I think it looks like an attractive table. People would be interested to see what's going on there. A lot of color and interesting stuff and some takeaways.
And I learned how to properly photograph a table.
Yeah, I go, hey, can you take me a picture of the table? And he sends me this like up and down picture. I can see like UNCHA and like half of Gary's head and half of like roll call's head. Like, how about you hold the camera the other way?
It didn't look that bad on my phone.
And I do want to say thanks for now the third time of trying to crush my free information campaign.
All right. Come over to the table. Come over to the table. Yeah, so for the people that are out there on the YouTube side, for whatever reason, not on the gun channel side, even though most of them are even paying for gun channels to exist, the table has moved east. So instead of being over in the corner behind the safes like we had been a couple of years, we're now kind of in the middle. It sounds like we're about halfway over to the smoking area, right? Or to the smoking door in the back there?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say it's about halfway between the bathroom and the doors at the bathroom and the doors at the smoking area. Yeah.
Oh, dang. Just judging from Snob's like view of the table there, it looks like the squirt guns are a big hit. They're gone, huh?
Yeah, we need to get some more out, probably. I think we have some more.
Okay, cool.
There's not that many more because I put some out earlier.
Oh, okay. We might ought to save them till tomorrow then.
Somebody saved me one, a blue one. If there's a blue one left.
We have a blue blaster one.
Right on, thanks. John is saying nice table. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to quit going around and asking everybody about 2A stuff. So it sounds like that's about the same. Let me go other way around and ask if you've had success with talking to people, meeting new people. Clover?
Before I answer that, Dano, if he had dropped out, dude, I told you I've got like 5 battery packs. Pull one out of my bag there at the table. Charge your phone, dude. As far as meeting new people, yeah, absolutely. Weston Probst met or Props. I don't even know. Can't butcher his last name, but he's in the chats pretty often. Have missed him the last several times. I've never actually got to hook up with him. I was coming out to smoke and I heard, "Hey, Clover!" I turned around and there he was. And so that was kind of cool. And met a dude, the Radom Viz pistols I put up. That dude was from Poland and had that collection. And he was all dressed like in World War II Polish military gear or something. And it was kind of hard to understand him because he was from Poland, real thick accent. But very interesting guy to talk to. He didn't want to be on camera or, really be recorded or anything. But yeah, he didn't have a problem with me taking pictures, which was great. And yeah, I had a really interesting conversation with him and the collectors group that he's in and all that sort of stuff.
I thought that was neat too, that Logan from High Caliber History saw your post and knew who you were talking about. It sounds like this is the first time. I asked him if he's going to be showing up. It's the first time he's going to miss the show in a long time. But that's neat. We're pulling the gun show up onto the internet and getting some interaction with people in the industry. That's freaking neat. Yeah, and Radom is a pretty cool company. That's sort of like the Russian factories. They've existed forever, like way longer than a lot of countries even. Those factories, and they started out making like cannons and all the old-fashioned kind of guns, and all the way up to AKs and stuff. Pretty neat. So let me ask: are the collectors things like along that kind of transition between upstairs and downstairs, so like they sometimes are, like against that kind of wall between upstairs and downstairs?
I noticed that you've got that one, and then you've got a Ruger down there on that little transition area, or in that transition area. And then I seen a Browning and a Smith and Wesson, but they were actually mixed into the floor.
Okay, so not so much like sometimes when the NRA does their traveling museum, they'll have a really big kind of section or area for all those displays. But then even when they're not doing their thing, they'll sometimes put all the displays together. It sounds like they didn't do that this time.
Yeah, I mean, apparently not. Then I don't know. I don't know if they had a reason for it, or maybe they had space to fill, just wanted to put them in the mix there. Maybe the collectors opted for that, thinking they would get more traffic or something, being kind of in the middle of the everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they even just random it up a little bit, right? Just to so it's not the same all the time. Gary, how about you? Have you had any luck meeting new people, chatting with people you've known before?
Both, really. I've made contacts with people from last year, and yeah, I've met some new people, and had pretty good luck now. A lot of them haven't had time to record interviews today because they just said they're too busy. So they want me to come back by either later today or tomorrow when it slows down a little bit, which is a good thing. That means there's a good turnout here at the show. So, but yeah, everybody seems to be real receptive to it.
Very cool. Yeah, exactly. That means they're doing business and not worrying about advertising yet.
Absolutely.
Dano, you having walking around? You're holding up with walking all right?
Dano's phone just went dead.
Oh, coward. Roll call. I've seen you've already been walking around. We know you've had success. You've been filming vids too, or just doing Instagram, or what have you been doing? Okay. Now it's walking around. You've been chatting with new people. You brought a new rig this time, right? You got all your new camera stuff.
Yeah,
Good to go?
I just used it. I've only got one video shot so far. I've got another one scheduled for 4, and then probably another one tomorrow. I don't know when he's going to want to do it because he's busy. But yeah, and I already got one scheduled for NRA with a guy that didn't have a booth here, but he was at the other booth.
Very cool. So. All right, I'm going to ask another question about the show for whoever is the surplus place guy, down at that northeast corner, like he is sometimes with all the shirts and ammo cans and coats and stuff.
Yep.
Anybody been over there to see if he's got a shit ton of woobies or poncho liners again?
No, I haven't. I haven't walked through there to see what he had. I just noticed he was there.
That might be a good task for Dano. Go down there and scope me out a bunch of cool poncho liners. This guy had, last time I was there, he had poncho liners for like $5, which is a massively good deal on poncho liners. A couple of them looked like somebody dropped a cigarette on them, or like they were underneath something when a bunch of brass fell on it, because they were all kind of melted and mangled, which is still not a bad deal really. For $5 you can patch that up or sew it, cut it up and sew it back together smaller or something. But I found 4 or something that were basically, they just had some stitching missing. They were basically new, and then they were faded a little bit. They weren't brand new colors or anything. But as soon as I left the show, I was kicking myself for not buying more. Those are super useful in the van. But I guess it's not cold enough to need jackets. He probably didn't bring a bunch of winter jackets, huh?
It's beautiful here this weekend, finally.
And it's not, it seems like it's a nice temperature. It's not like gross hot in there either. Like it's just a comfortable temperature inside and out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even jacket weather,
There's tons of people even wearing shorts here.
So are any plans to go live from the show? Obviously, everybody's having issues, or some people are having issues with the whole 1,000 sub minimum requirement threshold or whatever that YouTube just put out. But in past years, you guys have been able to set up that table next to our old table where whoever those people were left early, and you guys had like basically a little studio that was kind of quiet behind the safes and stuff. It doesn't look like that's going to happen where you're at now. It's super loud, huh?
Yeah, there's no chance of that here. Plus, we don't have electric for our laptops, so you're limited on your battery life.
Oh, so there's no option for electric where you guys are at now?
No, I brought a 25-foot cord, and I couldn't find it within 50 feet because I went and got another cord.
Dang, that's annoying. Well, just get one of them generators and set it up in front of the table. It won't be that loud.
Yeah, I've got my gas-powered generator at the house. I could bring that tomorrow and just set it under the table. They'll never notice. The fumes
drill a
won't
hole
bother
in the
you.
wall. Set it out on the sidewalk outside and just drill a hole in the wall. They don't care that bad. It's just metal.
Yeah, no big deal.
You only have to make it as big as the plug. It's not like it's that big a hole. So Kingpin was asking if it's as busy as last year. You guys pretty much said that it seems about as busy. And John Z is confirming, as Snob and Roll Call have been walking through the main aisle and stuff. It looks about the same. It doesn't look like, it looks about comfortable, right? Like there's people there. So I like it when there's people there. If it's too empty, you walk up to a table and you almost kind of feel bad when you walk away without buying nothing. But when there's enough people there that if you're not really interested in a table, you can walk away and 2 other people are already looking again. Like that's a lot more comfortable, I think, for everybody. And when it's so crowded that you can't even get a word in edgewise with anybody, they're just constantly talking to customers or potential customers, and it's almost no fun either just to ask a random casual question.
Yeah. And I think this show's busier than it was in November, in my opinion.
Oh, really? Interesting. I think we've talked about it in past. Am I backwards? I thought we thought that the November shows were, maybe we were thinking the November shows were slower. No, we thought the November shows were busier, right? Because we were thinking it was Christmas and hunting season. Like, I think that's what we were thinking.
I don't know. I just felt like I thought it was busier today than it was in November.
No, I don't know who went and grabbed all the stuff. Did anybody go yesterday to see setup day, or did you guys grab everything today?
Yeah, I came up here yesterday.
Oh, have you been on Friday before? Was the Friday the same, or was that?
I'd never been here before on Friday till yesterday, so I couldn't tell you. They were busy here.
Yeah. When I've had the advantage of going a couple of times and helping people, like to help them set up tables and work at their tables and stuff. That's how I first got introduced to the show. And in that situation, like I say, the people I went with knew the deal. They would get in there as soon as possible, get their stuff in there so that they were kind of open for business while the rest of the 3/4 of the people were showing up. And so I really saw, some differences year to year with the Friday side, and mainly not so much. There's always a consistent amount of like energy getting the place filled and set up. But as far as like the additional commerce that would be going on, some years it's a lot of like picking and pecking, and other years it's like just here's the 6 guns I knew you were going to want. Here's the $25,000. I've seen years where the transactions were like that quick, and other years where just nothing happened. It was crickets. So sounds like it's a good year though. And if people are generally not miserable, then that's usually a good sign, right? Especially on a Saturday. They can't be optimistic. They can't be pessimistic unless Friday was seriously bad. And I think you guys have seen shows where like the Friday would be so awesome and everybody was just grinning ear to ear and they almost didn't even care if they made any sales because they've already made their money for the show. You've seen that kind of vibe, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I saw P226 Nut was there. Is he got a table and everything again, or has he got knives out there this year? Anybody chat with him?
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him on the floor, and I haven't seen him at our table either one. So I couldn't say.
Okay, he was up when I think it was Roll Call's camera or maybe Snob's before. So they've got for the people that know the table from last year, sounds like our gun channels table now is about halfway between the bathrooms and the north smoking door that we would go out. So the table is definitely more busy than last year. People are asking about that. Definitely more busy. And because it's so busy, there's not empty tables to either side like there have been in the past. So the gun channels crew, I guess, found a table, what was it, about 4 tables down or something, that's just sort of at the end of the wall tables where nobody was using it, and they've just got it parked there and eating lunch and hanging out. And that's where I saw P226 Nut was hanging out there.
I didn't know they'd even done that. I haven't been down that way, I don't guess, since they've done that.
Yeah, it looked like Psycho was just eating and everybody was just kind of hanging out watching him eat. So it's not like they set up camp there, but they were kind of taking over the table, which is kind of cool because I'm guessing on Saturday no one's going to have the balls to just set up their stuff on a table, like set up their gear on a table, because if somebody's just late, they're going to have to move it all right away, right? So if we're just sitting there eating, that's not bothering anybody. All right, well,
we did see Stan from SS Pawn. He's came by and talked to us a few times.
Who's that?
Stan from SS Pawn, Travis P11's buddy.
Oh, okay. So how is your gear working? I know a couple of you brought new gear. Clover's got the new phone. Gary, did you change up your kit? How is everybody's stuff working?
Well, I got gifted a microphone rig from Gun Snob, and so I'm getting along quite a bit better with that. Yeah.
Right on. Are you using that now?
Well, I've got it on here, but obviously I'm walking down the aisle, so I don't have the front mic turned on. But I will when the videos I've recorded today, I've had it on, and it seems to work real well picking up people in front of the camera. Big improvement over the phone.
I was going to say, what your sound now, it's obvious there's background noise, but it's you can't hear it. You're coming through loud and clear. How's that new phone doing, Clover?
So far, I'm loving it, man. It's pretty freaking amazing. I've used the crap out of it between pictures and videos and posting stuff and everything. And I'm still at since whatever I took it off charge at 6 o'clock this morning, I guess. And I've got 49% battery left right now. Now, the camera seems to be considerably better than anything I've used previously. I guess the telltale on that would be for folks to go over to the CloverTac Instagram and just kind of look at the, I don't know, last 5 or 6 or something posted, as opposed to stuff that was posted there a couple of weeks back, and see if see if the quality looks any better. I think it does myself. I've had a couple of photos I've taken with this phone that were just beautiful.
Now, normally you walk around with like that setup where you have the phone. Now are you carrying that around also, or just the cell phone?
No, I carried, when I did the little video this morning, I just put my phone on a tripod, and then I went to the middle of the building or whatever, and set up and filmed that. Now, tomorrow, when I've got some interviews and some other stuff to do, I will be using the gimbal and the monopod then. But I haven't used it today because I've just been doing pictures, so I don't really need it for that.
So the picture you took on April Fool's was your old camera, and that's what we're looking at on the screen right now, correct?
I believe it was, yeah.
When you look at it, it's a decent picture and everything, but now I'm closing it and I'm scrolling up to one of your recent pics of the Beasley, and yeah, it is like night and day. It is definitely 1,000 times more clear.
Yeah, I didn't think I was crazy. I mean, I thought it was. And the one I did, the first one I took was the one with the revolvers. I think that was the first picture I took with the new phone. It's like 4 or 5 revolvers there, and to me that picture just looked freaking amazing. And the ones I've taken here at Wanemacher, they look just as good. So I'm happy with it.
How big are the pictures that come out of that now?
I would have to look, but I think it's like 3,000 and something resolution by whatever the equivalent is. I don't know, 3,000 by 2,000 and something or something like that. Yeah. Pretty high resolution. And you could adjust it, but I just haven't. I've got plenty of storage and all. I'm not worried about it.
Now, it's got that whatever it's called, like where you don't have to plug it anymore. You just set it next or set it on a charger, correct?
Yeah, if you've got a wireless charging station, then yes, you can just set it on that wireless charging station. And then also, I can turn my phone into a wireless charging station, meaning that if you have a phone that charges wirelessly, you could then set your phone on top of mine, and my phone would charge your phone.
Or your like Bluetooth earbuds or your watch or some sort of other device.
Sure, yeah. Right, now that's going to charge at the expense of your battery, of course, but if you've got 100% and somebody's got 0, I mean, that could, at least you could charge theirs up to 20% or something, so they would have a little battery.
And then do they make the battery packs like you told Dano to use one of yours? Like, do they make those yet that are the same kind of system so that you could just literally have it in your pocket and every time you put your phone in your pocket, it's just charging?
You know what? I'm sure they probably do, but I don't know for positive, but I would bet money they do. Yeah.
Because that seems like a really cool deal right there, especially with the large, the good, what am I trying to say? Like the decent performance of your battery, but being able to like keep it charged up without stupid wires, man, that seems really neat. Because wires cost forever. They get to be expensive when you're jamming in your pockets and you're bending them and breaking them all the time.
No, man, that's absolutely true. Yeah. And I mean, the technology on that's even getting better. I mean, they've got technology that it's so expensive right now. It hasn't just broken into the commercial market yet. But I've seen wireless charging technology where literally, if you're within, we could set a charger on the table, and as long as you're within 50 feet of the table or something, it would charge your device. Just crazy stuff. Their wonderful website, I see you got it.
Well, who asked? Somebody asked, Calaveras asked how long the Wanemakers has been going, and they say it right there. They're proud of it. 65 years. So they've been doing this gun show for 65 years.
I'm pretty sure that's outdated, though, because if you read the description, I think it said like 50-somethings when it started.
Oh, so that's like an old, 65 years is old, so it's even more than that.
I think so. I don't think they update their website very often.
Not very often at all. It's one of the things that made me start Every Second Matters, honestly, is because look at this. This is a gun show that's ultimately successful, doing good work, and they have no need for a fancy website. There's no need to go bug them about fucking with their website, screwing with their website. So stuff like what we're doing here amplifies their efforts, and the necessity of them having a fancy website is made less necessary by us and our efforts. So thank you guys for doing that. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. We've talked about their website before, and how they've been around so long. And I mean, it's basically first weekend and second weekend of April, November, right? Or first weekend of April and November, second weekend, I guess, actually. But I mean, people word of mouth, and when you're the largest gun show in the world, I mean, do you really got to have that good of a website? Now, if you were the second largest, you might consider it, I guess.
Well, roll call. Your equipment seems to be working good. Any issues? Any changes you already can figure out you're going to need to make?
$150. I mean, I just have issues with the software there where I can't like live stream. I have to use Instagram. I only get an hour of time to do that. If I wanted to live stream in here, because my YouTube, it won't let me from my phone, but I can do it all day on the laptop. That's my only issue. But my camera works. I got my mic set up. That works. My tripod still hasn't failed me, so because I brought my cheap one, not the good one. But other than that, yeah, I'm doing good.
Right on. Now I noticed when you guys did the interview with Second Call Defense, right? That it was U.S. Law Shield. Sorry. when you did the interview with him, even though it was on Instagram Live, you held the camera normal. So this question is really for Clover. They did it Instagram Live. They held the camera like horizontally, like the correct way to actually record. And then I'm guessing at the end, they chose to save that file. You know how Instagram, when you go live, it'll give you like a little button there for like, just for that one window where you can say, save this file. When you save it, have you ever done this, Clover? Held the camera horizontally in Instagram and then saved it, even though it'll go to Instagram, 90 degrees wrong, will it record the video in normal perspective so they could post that?
I don't believe so. I believe you're still going to get the black bars.
Okay, so you'd have to go to the program and turn it green, zoom in or something to get rid of all the dead space.
Yeah.
Okay,
I believe so.
That makes it super frustrating. Back in the day, we had other live options. There was Quicks that we used a lot. And then Blog TV came along, and that added the functionality of a text chat, which was more useful and competent than the one that Quicks had. Quicks was really just a way to stream live and have very little back and forth with the people watching. So I'm guessing those both died and had been kind of evolved into other platforms or whatever as they got bought or whatever. I never really followed the companies along, but if they don't exist, there's got to be something else out there. Maybe even Skype. Is Skype still kicking, right? Does anybody use Skype? Would that work for this kind of stuff?
I know some people do use it. I haven't used it, but I know I've seen Jessie, Gunpowder Beauty, has been using Streamlabs to stream over her phone still.
And then does that allow people to watch and be interactive?
Yeah, I think it just ran it through Streamlabs, and then it lets you do it just like a YouTube mobile live stream. I'm not sure, but it looked like it whenever she did it.
So not trying to be alarmist or say the sky's fallen, but an adjustment like this that the YouTube is going to make to their system and their policies is inevitable. The platforms are huge, and the consequences to individual channels aren't in the equation for them. They can't be really. So just a plea and another whatever, I guess, shout to suggest, consider your project what you're doing and not your presence on any particular platform. So get a website or get something independent of all platforms that you can call your own, and then work from there, and be competent in as many platforms as you can, so that when something like this happens, there's options, so that we're not our voices aren't silenced by inadvertent or deliberate change in policy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Oh, okay. We got important news for everybody. So please listen to this and relate it to everybody. There's another app from YouTube called the YouTube Gaming app for your phones. I've used this because it allows you to screen share, or it allows you to screen capture a video on your phone. It's designed for little kids to play video games on their phone and to stream that video game play on their phone live. So all you do is you download an app called YouTube Gaming or something like that. I think it's the YouTube Gaming app. And let me look on my phone to what it looks like. It's red, and it looks like a it looks like a little heart with the YouTube play button kind of in it. It looks like a little skeleton. I don't know what to call it, like a skeleton frame heart. But it's a little red heart, and it's called YT Gaming. And you download that for nothing, and I think, I don't know, maybe you have to log in with your YouTube, or maybe it just automatically connects with your YouTube. But that'll allow you to screen share. And Calaveras is saying that, I don't know how to say his name, Tyven, the Tyven show, said that game app will allow small channels to mobile live stream. So I've used it to use the screen share or the screen capture on my phone, but I think there might be, let me look at it, there might be an option to go live. Oh no, there is a camera. So check that out. Maybe play with it tonight and see if that might be an option for you guys that they screwed out of live streaming from your phones. that connects with your YouTube channel, goes live from your YouTube channel. You won't, well, I don't think you'll get comments, but I don't know. I haven't done it like that before. I've only done the, no, it is internal to YouTube. John Z is saying it's not, it is part of YouTube. It is a YouTube app, just like the studio. So I have YouTube on my phone. I have YouTube Studio on my phone, which is a really functional program. Definitely install that if you're creating videos. It allows you to reach your comments and your statistics, your analytics and everything. Most importantly, though, your comments from your phone very easily. And it's part of YouTube. It's called YouTube Studio or YT Studio. It looks like a gear with the YouTube play button in the middle of it. And then YT Gaming is one we were just talking about that allows you to screen capture your phone live, but there is a camera there, and you can, yeah, but you could play with that camera to pop the camera full screen and then get into your YouTube channel live that way. So thanks, Calaveras, for relaying that. Thanks to T-Von. They've got a creator summit coming up in Ohio before too long. I'll go look on the Gun Channel's events calendar, see when that's coming. So that's the kind of tip you can get from people that give a shit about the Second Amendment and try to grow people's projects. Is theirs coming up in May? Is that that's theirs, right? Yes, May 19th. Creator Summit at Thunder Valley in Ohio. Is it?
I thought theirs was in September, but I don't know.
No, this is it. Yeah, it is in September also. Their September one is September 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that's the larger one. But they have one coming up in May also. They're calling it the Friends and Fans event, May 19th. So, but anyway, thanks to Calaveras for relaying that, and hopefully that works for some of you guys. Let the guys know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail out of here. I got to go do an interview at 4, so I'm gonna jump out.
Right on. Thanks for jumping in.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the show.
All right, well, I've already asked you guys about your gear. I've asked you about the show. Anything else you want to chat about before we head out, I guess?
No, I mean, it'd probably be a good idea to, maybe try to open something up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of cover, last day, because with it being Sunday and being slower, I mean, we'll have a little more opportunity, obviously.
Right. Hopefully everybody's out. Opportunity to get videos too. So hopefully everybody's out getting videos tomorrow. Do you guys have plans? Well, I'll definitely do something again tomorrow for Gary's. What does he call his leftover show on Sundays? No, I can't ever remember the name of it. The other side of Foul Territory, the leftovers from Foul Territory on Sunday. I'll do a show tomorrow if you want, and give you guys a room like this, and we'll just let people jump in and out. And but let me ask, are you guys doing anything tonight? Have you guys got anything planned?
We don't. I mean, once we kind of get together and eat some dinner, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we'll come up with something. We got quite a few things to discuss, while we're over lunch or over dinner. I mean,
I was asking roll call before. You guys didn't have like text. I don't know what to call it. What do you call it when you like a group text going to keep everybody aware or anything like that?
No, I mean, we've gotten by without using really anything like that. We've gotten by pretty good.
Well, I'm thinking we can utilize the tools we've got, because we've got a lot of people there that might not know about everything. So, certain things like, hey, we're going to meet up. Like, I'm just going to ask you guys to do a big G circle, Gun Channel's patch circle thing with as many people as possible. So I don't know what it's like with what Foos's schedule is like. Did Ghost ever get there? I haven't seen him.
No, it's a negative.
Okay. So, but on Saturday is probably the best bet to getting everybody's hands in there. So I don't know. And, stuff like that, though, having like a text thing or like, after dinner, we're all meeting up at so-and-so at 9 or something. Anyway, we can set that up. We just got to keep figuring this stuff out. We'll figure that out for next time or whatever. So let's see. Let's see. Anybody else have any other questions out there or comments before we head out then? March 2019, YouTube gaming will be retired. I still have it on mine. Sucks if they get rid of it because it is a pretty good way to do a screen capture. Yeah, it's letting me do one. In fact, I think I did a video on how to use it to screen capture. Using it, I used it to show how to use it to screen capture. And then whenever you're done making the video on your phone, it just uploads to your YouTube video. But you can also stream live. Oh, that's what it said on their page. All right. Can the booth staff carry? Guy is asking that. No, nobody carries at the show except for the security. So they ask everyone to be unarmed inside the building to, you know, prevent the problems with NDs or whatever you want to call them. All right. Well, with that, we'll say thanks everybody for joining up and participating in a little glimpse of the world's largest gun show. Again, this is something that has been going on for 65 years, so 100 and something, 20, maybe 150 more shows that have happened, and we got people that have been going to the show probably, you know, since a lot of that time. We've got people that have never been to a gun show before with 4,500 tables. You've got a little bit of everything there, and for the last few years now, thanks to the tremendous efforts of the people on gun channels that put the financial and time resources to showing up at the show and bringing their channels, the stuff that they do 363 other days of the year, bringing the efforts that they do to bring the Second Amendment online. We've been working with the show to help promote the show, and we do that in different ways. And if you'd like to be part of that, then there's no recipe, there's no rules, and there are no directions. Pick up your phone and get active. Be part of the conversation that's going on. Be part of the content that's out there. Thanks, Clover, again for joining in. We'll chat a bit here, I'm assuming, once it's over. And thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. If you're not part of the show, then this hopefully gave you a glimpse of it.